Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, and welcome back to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. Today's episode will be all about how I and what I tell my clients to do to get inspired to create content and do the things that you keep putting off. This topic has really been on my heart lately, and it's because I know some of you put so much pressure on yourself to get all the things done every single day. And you're waiting to feel inspired. You're waiting for some big shift in energy and motivation. All right. And also in this episode, I'm going to dive into how to receive the answers you keep asking yourself. All right. So before I get started, though, I will be releasing some Black Friday offers. So if you've been wanting to work with me on some level, watch my stories this week and also make sure that you're signed up for my email list to be one of the first people to get first dibs on my Black Friday offers. There will be a limited availability for most of them. Okay. So with that being said, if you aren't on my email list, I'd get on my email list now. Okay. So click the link in my show notes. It just literally says join Allison's email list. Also in 2024, I will be having a slight change to my one-on-one program. Instead of working with me for 3 months, it will be a 4-month coaching container. The reason I'm extending it is because most of my one-on-one clients do continue to work with me after the 3 months. Just last week, 3 of my one-on-one clients extended to continue working with me. Okay. So it's common to want to keep me like forever once you start working with me. Also, another reason is a lot of my clients are really new to business. So in that first year, a lot of them are still figuring out the ins and outs of their offer, their website, all the things. It's totally normal for it to take more than 3 months. Okay. And let's be real. It's also really important to have long-term support. I've been with my current one-on-one coach for over a year, and I'm probably going to continue working with her for another year. All right. It's nice having someone who truly knows your business and you so well. So to save myself and you some time and effort, I'm extending the coaching container to 4 months, and the pricing will be $3,800 USD total. And yes, there will be payment plans available. So no worries there. All right. So once again, get on my email list if you want to stay up to date on all the info on working with me. Okay. All right. So let's get started on this week's episode. What do you do when you feel stuck in your business? What I do know is that there's always a move to make. You can always pull yourself out of that stuckness feeling, the funk, right? If you choose so. I personally don't wait for my energy to change or wait to feel a certain way to create content or send emails or create offers or anything like that. I just know it's a part of my daily entrepreneurial, did I say that word right? Entrepreneurial job to do these things. Okay. Think back to a job that you used to have. Okay. When you had a big task to do, your boss didn't wait for you to feel ready or excited. Right? You just did it. And then you went on about your day. And I know you might not necessarily be like a 9-to-5er anymore. I don't resonate with that at all. But I used to have a job. All right. I know what it's like to remember what it was like coming into work and not feeling so great. But guess what? I showed up, I did the work, and bam, got paid. And I think there's just this misconception when you are in entrepreneurship that you must feel good all the time when you're working on your business. Unfortunately, that's just not true. I still have days where I show up, even when emotionally, I'm just having one of those days, right? Or I'm having a bad day. And it might be far and few, but it does happen. I'm a human being and you are too. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you need to totally work through like having the flu or when you're super exhausted or when your kids are sick or stuff like that. If you can't think straight, then don't work. All right. Go take a nap, pop some vitamins, eat a good meal. All right. Take care of yourself. All right. Feel me? But in entrepreneurship, it is a mental game that you play with yourself. It requires a hell of a lot of discipline. It's similar to, I guess I would say working out. Like, I don't know why I always compare it to this, but it's true. You don't see results right away when you start at the gym, but it doesn't mean that you give up, right? You still go every day. You still have that discipline to show up at the gym because over time, once you put in the reps, you will start seeing your body change, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And I think most coaches and consultants are comparing their business to people who have been working hard for months and years, and they quickly get discouraged. You got to give it time. All right. The efforts and the actions that you are taking are compiling right now. All right. It's building and building and building. You can't give up before you even truly get started. All right. This is a career choice for you. This is something you likely want to do in the long run, right? This is long-term. Short-term gratification doesn't actually exist. Okay. Overnight success is not a thing. Okay. You're building a real business here, something that you likely want to do for the next 3, 5, 10 years, maybe, right? So it's important that you reframe and shift your thoughts around how fast your business is supposed to happen. Okay. Stop putting so much pressure on the when. Okay. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Okay. Now, you might be somebody too who's putting a deadline on your business. All right. You have to stop this. All right. If like this doesn't work in this amount of time, I'm giving up. All right. This is me giving you some hard coaching right now, and it's all out of love. Okay. Trust me, because I love you so, so much. Okay. But sadly, a lot of you are thinking about your business 24/7, but not actually working on your business 24/7. Or you got certified, say like 6 months ago, but you haven't actually done anything. All right. So I want your business to be fun for you. I really want this to be something that lights you up. But I hear so many new coaches and sleep consultants say that they're just so passionate and this is really what they want to be doing. Yet they have such a hard time with all the businessy things, like just getting started on the businessy things. Okay. And you likely didn't go to school to learn about how to grow a business on social media or like how to have a business realistically, right? Feel me on that. And I know, even as someone who has a sales and marketing degree, like this is what I went to college for. And I even had multiple jobs selling products and events and that sort of stuff. But what I do on social media is such a different ballgame. Okay. So you might still be in that learning phase. And that's totally fine. All right. You need to learn how to do these things. You still need to sell though, while you create content and while you learn the things. Okay. You can't just keep learning and keep learning and keep learning. Okay. At some point, you might just end up in learning paralysis. All right. Where you're just stuck. You feel stuck all the time and you won't actually do anything because you just keep feeling not ready. And I said this before on past podcast episodes and in my courses and that sort of stuff, but ready is just a decision. Okay. It's not this overwhelming feeling that you just get that you're like, okay, today's the day. All right. You just choose the day. You choose to get started right now. All right. So if you are looking to feel like it, right? I need to feel a certain way. What would you have to do to make that happen? A lot of you might be waiting for permission, right? So does someone outside of you need to be excited for this or need to give you validation that like today's the day you start or like, hey, permission to actually do this? So what would make you feel like it? What is that deciding factor for you? All right. So, hey, hi, if you're listening to this, this is your permission if you need permission. All right. So get started. All right. So even if you don't feel like it today, even if you aren't 100% completed with your courses and certifications or whatever, you can start today. You can start selling an offer today. You can start making money whenever you feel like it. Okay. So to get yourself out of this funk or just to get yourself feeling inspired again about your business, here are some things that I recommend you doing. Okay. So this one is number one. I'll just go, I guess, 1 through, I don't know how many, but first one. All right. So simple. Go outside, get out of your house, go for a walk, go touch the earth and get grounded, like touch some dirt. All right. Like this could be 5 minutes, 2 minutes. The worse the funk, the longer you probably need in nature. Okay. When we quiet our mind and take real time away from our phones and our life, we start getting ideas. We can start to remove some of that brain fog. I always get a ton of great ideas and clarity when I don't have my phone with me, when I'm actually outside going for a walk or like gardening or mowing the lawn, that sort of stuff. Okay. This is why so many people meditate and take time in silence in the morning. It's important for your brain to chill out and relax so it can actually receive some information. Okay. So number 2, you need to put your phone somewhere, like in a cabinet or like, I don't know, in a drawer. I want you doing a detox for your brain. Okay. Detox it's right now it's dopamine addicted. Okay. So if you wake up looking at your phone and you go to bed looking at your phone, your dopamine receptors in your brain are likely super overstimulated and need a real break. All right. So if you are someone who needs their phone while you even go to the bathroom, while you shower, while you take a bath, stop this. Okay. Your brain needs a break. Okay. So try to be more silent. And in silence, we can get those downloads from the universe that we keep seeking. All right. So those answers that you are seeking, your brain just needs to be in silence for a bit so you can actually receive them. Okay. And your inspiration likely isn't going to come from your Instagram Explore page or like TikTok. Okay. It's not going to come from your phone at all. All right. So you're wasting your time if you are looking for content ideas and inspiration from other people's profiles. And don't you want to create original content, like content that doesn't sound or look like everybody else's, right? So stop going to your competitors' profiles for inspiration, right? It's not there. All right, number 3, if you're going to hang out with entrepreneurs, great. But if they don't make you feel good, then I want you getting out of those groups. So if you're like in group chats or Facebook groups or something like that, if it's toxic for you, then please remove yourself from the group politely, respectfully decline. Okay. Whatever you got to do. All right. But I see this a lot where people share their wins, right? And like they immediately just go, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have the clients? Like, what do they have that I don't have? Like, why isn't this working for me? Right. So I don't want you doing that, right? That like the groups there are to inspire you and to celebrate you. And if you're not feeling that way in that group, then please exit. All right. So also, though, like learn to celebrate other people. Like the more you give, the more you're going to get. Okay. So if you can't do that right now, if you're not in that mental space, once again, it's okay to leave the group. All right. Number 4, if you can swing it, book a weekend away alone or with your spouse only. Get out of your current environment so you can change up your energy. When you're doing the same thing every day for like 6 months or like a year or maybe even longer than that. All right. You might need a mental break, like a real mental break. And every time I go away somewhere, I come back with so much clarity and inspiration. And I don't know what it is really, but like the energy in me just changes. All right. A few years ago, I wanted to finish up one of my programs. At the time, it was called Mompreneur Marketing Blueprint. It's very similar to some of my programs today, but it was my first 12-week program. So I ended up going to a hotel for 3 days. It was about 2.5 hours away. And I tried to write all the presentations, like the actual modules. Okay. I got a good chunk of it done. But it would have literally taken me forever if I was home with my kids, my dogs, my husband, and like, a messy house. Okay. Your life is constantly throwing distractions at you. Okay. So it's important you take time for yourself to really think. So do something nice for yourself, book a spa day, whatever that is, book a hotel room and get some clarity, change up your energy. And number 5, get some help. Okay. Having my coach to give me ideas, flesh out ideas is extremely helpful. All right. Having a business, and you guys probably know this, it's not all puppies and rainbows, right? It's okay to ask for help and get your head on straight when you're having a rough day or a rough week or a rough month even, okay? Like I like being a solo entrepreneur. I personally don't ever want a partner or even employees, but I do like having a coach who feels like a team member, someone who's excited for me, who can really hold my hand through like this mental chaos that I have sometimes, right? We all go through that. So it's important to have somebody that you can talk to. And number 6, this one should be like so common, but like I feel like as we get older, we tend to not do this. It's go have some fun. Okay, go have some fun. Go out with your girlfriends, dance, get drunk, eat some tacos. I don't know what that is for you, but like go have some fun. Okay, maybe you want to try a new hobby. Call a friend even just to like chat and see what they're up to. Your business isn't your hobby, by the way, just so you all know. And I know it's likely that you want to do this like in your spare time all the time. Okay, I feel you on that. But you got to schedule in some time for the fun playtime for yourself. Even as an adult, I know we're kids at hearts and stuff, but you need to lighten up and do something like your 10-year-old self would be like really excited for. Okay, so you want to like really prove your 10-year-old self like, yeah, girl, you still got it in you. Okay, you can still play hard and have a good time. All right, anyway, number 7. Unbusy yourself. Unbusy yourself. This is the last one for you here, okay? This is really important. You might be jam-packing your schedule with so many activities, parties, coffee dates, whatever, all right? I want you unbusying your life. I don't know if that's a word, but unbusy your life. Have days where you have nothing scheduled. Have days you can have fun and play. Have days where you don't have to answer to anybody and you can literally do whatever your heart desires, okay? And if you are someone who wants answers, like you want to know how to do something, when to do something, like what this or that means, whatever that is, okay? I want you sitting alone by yourself. You could put in headphones, you could just go outside, whatever this is for you, but I want you to get really silent. I want you to go into just a quiet place and get quiet, okay? In silence is when I have the best downloads and I receive all the answers that I seek, okay? Just get quiet. It might not happen the first time, okay? Because like your brain might be like moving still at a mile a minute. All right. But it's important that you do this often. If you aren't somebody who meditates, like I personally don't love meditation because it is hard for me to slow my brain down. Like I get that. Like that's just a part of my DNA. But when I do meditate, and I do actively try to relax my body and relax my mind, I get so many downloads. Okay. When I say downloads, I just mean answers. I get whatever it is that I'm trying to ask the universe for or whatever, it comes through. I get the best pep talks, if I'm being quite honest. But do this, try this. Okay. It might take a few times, but get silent. Another thing that I used to do, I haven't done this in a while, but I used to love doing it. I might try this again today. I used to get a notebook and kind of just let my brain do the writing for me. There is a actual, they call it something. I forget, but it's pretty much just a guardian angel coming through you, and they're writing on paper, through your own hand, through your own written words. So I usually start with a question, and I kind of just let myself start free writing and seeing what pops up. When I look back at some old notebooks that I have, I'm this is not me at all. It doesn't sound like me, nothing. But I knew when I wrote that question up top, I'm this was one of those days I did the free flowing writing, and I got the answers that I was seeking. So that's something to do too. If you are kind of spiritual and you're open to that sort of stuff, it's always worth a try. Everything's worth a try, right? If you're feeling in that funk mode or whatever it is. But yeah, that's something I really would like you to do, or at least try. All right. So anyway, that's the end of this episode. I know how hard it can be to wake up and just be what do I create today? What am I going to write today? What kind of content am I doing? It's important that you have a strategy for yourself to not continue to feel like that every day. Okay. I don't know what it is for you currently that's stopping this flow coming through you, but this is why sitting in silence and doing these sort of things is so important. Ooh, and something else that just came to mind. Turn off all your notifications on your phone. And I might have said this in a past episode, but man, oh man, that is probably one of the biggest distractions. I even noticed when my husband's phone is on, I hear zzz, ding, ding, ding. I'm oh my God, that to me is so annoying. So turn off your notifications. Spend some time intentionally checking that sort of stuff. Okay. It will help with the dopamine stuff as well. When you're just addicted to that, it'll help. Trust me, it'll help. It'll help. So anyway, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. And once again, keep an eye out for my Black Friday offers. And if you found this episode helpful, please tag me on Instagram at Allison Henderson _coach. Once again, that's Allison Henderson _coach. All right, everyone, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson _coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.